Hello YouTube fans, this is Dr. Matthew Johnson. It is Saturday, September the 5th, 2020 at 12:52 p.m. Jesus is my Savior, Bigfoot is my therapy. And I'm out here to check on things and to tell you a quick story. Couple mornings ago, Thursday morning to be specific, on September the 3rd, around 3 in the morning, this is Skookum, by the way, which we call them Skooks for short. So the morning of Thursday, September 3rd, around 3 a.m., we had a truckload of coyotes up the hill toward our house. I don't know, 20, 25 of them just going crazy and bedded down, and they weren't going anywhere. Our dogs were barking at them, they were barking at our dogs, and it was just crazy. And then our crazy neighbor up that way came out of his house, fired off his gun 6 times, which finally caused Oma, the Alaska Malamute, to come inside so I could close the pet door. And then the neighbor came out about an hour later, shot his gun again because the truckload of coyotes wouldn't quiet down up here. And then about another 30, 60 minutes later, the crazy neighbor came out of the house. You can't see it because of the trees, and fired his gun again 6 times. And I was up from 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. and I had to call in and have my morning schedule, my clients rescheduled, because there's no way I was going to function and do any good therapy with that sleep deprivation. But anyway, when I got out of bed and showering, getting ready for work, I have a little mind speak argument with Con2, who's the clan leader here. I'm going, dude, why did you have all the coyotes on our property? And Saria butts in, your property? I thought we all lived here. I'm like, okay, you're right. But why did you have the dogs there? And they said because there was a Treykon Hunting Party in the Weyerhaeuser timber property across the wetlands in our backyard. Okay, this is at the bottom of the hill. So we have wetlands here, and off to the left is a pond area, and there's kind of a creek that flows through here and spreads out. But anyway, the trees you see across the wetlands are owned by Weyerhaeuser, and there's 500,000 acres, 500,000 acres that go from our backyard all the way to the coast of Washington State. A lot of deep wilderness for the Treykon to hide out in. And as I told you, occasionally they'll come up to the edge of rural properties for food. And that means pigs, sheep, goats, or your dogs and cats, and including the Xanue's dogs and cats. Oh, like what? And so the Xanue, they put all their coyotes, their dogs, their pets, up on the hill behind our house, and 2 cats, 2 Cougar, to protect their dogs and cats from being taken by the Treykon Hunting Party. And then they managed to put a line of Xanue, or a wall of Xanue, along the wetlands, giving the Treykon a clear message: don't you cross the wetlands, don't you come over here. And this wall of Xanue kept the Treykon from crossing the wetlands and coming over to our property in an attempt to snag some coyotes for a meal, a cougar, and or our pets. But as I said earlier, eventually we managed to get the dogs inside. Cats were already inside. And it was quite the morning, quite the night, from 3 a.m. until actually 6:30 when the sun started coming up. And then I climbed into bed and fell asleep around 7 a.m. But as you can see, the bottom of our property goes along the wetlands. And again, on the other side of the wetlands are Weyerhaeuser timber property, 500,000 acres or 500,000 acres of timber. And apparently there are some Treykon families living out there. They stay far enough away from civilization, but occasionally, as I have shared before, make their way up to the edge of rural civilization to snag some easy kill. Pigs, sheep, goats, dogs, cats, coyotes, cougar. And we always have coyotes and cougar in this area. You hear the coyotes. So now I'm going to take you on a walk up our trail, since most of you have not come out to our Camp Xanue yet. So therefore, you don't know what it's like to hike through our woods. You're probably going to hear me sucking air because I am about to go up a very steep hill to get back up to the house. And since I was shooting this video and this story, thought I'd show you. Brian Moore, a good friend of ours, put these stairs in to make the ascent or descent a whole lot easier. There's Mr. Butters. Once again, that's Skooks, short for Skookum. And yes, this is a property boundary marker, except we own the property 5 acres on this side of the line, and we own the 5 acres on this side of the line. We have another trail going up that way to the Infinity Loops Trail. Brian Moore, thank you very much for putting these stairs in. You've made this journey much safer and easier for everybody, including the dogs, to get up and down the hill. Keep going. So as far as talking, listening, and learning on this video, I just wanted to share what happened on Thursday morning. I don't have any other cool stories to share. Well, actually, I do want to show you a couple things, so hang in there. Don't stop watching. Besides, as I mentioned before, some of you haven't been out here yet, so you don't know what you're missing. Oh, X right there. And then look at that. was definitely placed, including, just so you don't miss it, the X right here, that was placed. Okay, and obviously these sticks were placed and woven, and up here, look at that, amazing stuff. There was no wind, no snow. Just hiked down here one day and there it was. There was nothing to cause any fall. In the fall, wouldn't end up woven. So here's a Y, and Ys represent bringing our two worlds together. The X is the mark of the Xanue, and also stands for the Greek symbol Chi, C-H-I, which stands for Christ. That's interesting. Right there. Wow. Look. That's my size 16 shoe. Right there. Wow. My size 16 shoe is 14 and a half inches long. So we usually get tracks when we hike up and down the trail that are fairly fresh. Wow, look at that. Wow, this is new. Look at this. Going across the trail right here. Look at that. That's not a fall. That was placed here. That was not here. This is the first time I've seen this. Wow. I'll tell you something that's not new now, because we've been here for almost 3 years. Another X. But it was erected after we moved in. A big ass X right there. Big X right there. They erected that after we moved into our home, marking their turf. We share this property with 8 families. Khantun and Saria are the clan leaders. Zorth and his family have relocated from Southern Oregon up here as well. And the Council of 12 have relocated their meeting area within a stone's throw of our property. Obviously, it's a spider web holding this leaf in suspension. See, it's not just floating there magically. It's dangling on a spider web, but still pretty cool. Camp Xanue is a magical place. Oh, we have a skookum sighting, or a skooks sighting, and an Oma sighting. Oma is Northern California Hoopa Indian name for Bigfoot. Oma stands for Bigfoot, stands for boss of the woods. We're gonna go this side route to get back home. Get to walk on some flat ground. Look at that. Wow. Wow. Once again, I have a size 16 shoe. I'm 6'9" tall. I'm not short like Bobo Fay, only 6'4". Just kidding, Bobo. And here's another X they erected after we moved in. None of these X's were on our property before we moved in. They were erected after we moved in. Pretty amazing. So, Cynthia and I would like to invite newbies to attend next summer. We're going to have our cleanup weekends in May of 2021, and then we're going to host camp in June, July, and August like we always do. Cynthia has mandated that I keep the limit at 30, not let it go up to 40. August, the last 2 years, has gone up to 40, so I have to start saying no. But her compromise was to allow me to open up a September group. So in 2021, we're going to have the spring cleaning group in May, which is free. Then paid camp, June, July, August, and September. So here's the upper area that I was talking about, where all those coyotes bedded down right below our house. So our house is right up there. There's our house, backside of our house. And the coyotes were bedded down in this area. And again, they were barking at our dogs. Our dogs were barking at them. Then the crazy neighbor came out and shot his gun. Wilma came in. I secured the pet dog door. And then had to calm the dogs down for the next 3.5 hours. So, if you haven't been to Camp Xanue, you want to come. I forgot they also have 2 cougars bedded down here. And apparently, they're cougars, cougar pets, and their coyote pets are their dogs and cats. And they get along with each other just like humans, dogs and cats get along. I hope you're enjoying this prolonged tour up from the wetlands. Just gives you a little taste of what you can experience when you come out next summer. Got fresh blueberries behind the house, and there's the home where our crazy neighbor lives in. Comes out and fires off the guns in the middle of the night. Sure hope he's not aiming at our property. I don't think he is. I think he's a responsible gun owner. Just doesn't make sense to come out and fire off the gun in the middle of the night. Kind of silly. Yeah. So we are coming up on the side, and this is where the shed is. That's the garage up above. When we refer to Cynthia and I sleeping out by the fire pit, camping out here at night doing night sits, this is where we have our campfire and do our night sits right here. And making my way back to the front of the house. See these little colored rocks on the gravel. You may have seen some on the trail. They glow in the dark at night. So when you come out here, it's like you're walking on stars. And there's Old Glory, which I will never kneel to our flag and our national anthem. And I'm gonna end with one last story. When we moved in, some friends gave us this Bigfoot figurine right there, and I was thinking, what should we name him? Zorth popped into my head. Con2, name him Con2. So I did. So this is Con2. A little bit of humor. Not that long ago, a friend of mine, their father, carved this and gave this to us. And I was thinking, what should we name him? Con2 spoke up and said, Zorth. Name him Zorth. So this is Con2, and that's Zorth. And you guys are welcome to our home to join us in the summer of 2021. This is Dr. J signing off.